How about now? Okay. Let's just start over. Okay. So, hello everyone. Welcome to the Nintendo Daily Recap Show. My name is Steven Dutzman. I'm the founder of EngageFamilyGaming.com, and I'm joined on my left by my good friend Jonathan Tomlinson, the man behind the curtain. How are you, sir?
Excellent.
And I'm also joined on my right by James Pisano, the video guy.
Hey, guys.
And so I hope some of you are joining us after a rather contentious, I think is the appropriate term, prediction results show. The results were that no one gets the belt right now because we have a two-way tie between myself and the Princesses of Power.
We still have no sound.
It's 30 seconds behind.
I just asked the question still, and they said nope.
But it's made it back to over here.
Can you guys confirm that you still can't hear us?
If you can't hear us, tell us.
Yep.
Okay, but
I asked here, still no sound. Jessica and Perry both responded right away.
But look, I've had
He
this.
hasn't even left the desk yet.
You see, that's when I went.
Okay.
Just say, hold on, it'll catch up.
There it is.
Okay. So
Thanks, Perry.
so it was a tie, a two-way tie between myself and the Princesses of Power. The two of them, it has been decided that we're going to settle it in Smash. However, one of the Princesses of Power, upon being notified of that, protested and said that they may want to choose another game. We'll decide the game at a later date, a mutually agreeable one. They may want to fight me in Smash because I'm terrible at it, but we'll figure it out from there. But all jokes aside, it's all in good fun. Thank you to our fair and just commissioner for helping moderate a fair competition. But back to the real work. Nintendo. They had their press conference today. It was the only, well, it wasn't a press conference. They had their Nintendo Direct today. It was the only real press type event today of any real consequence. And I can say comfortably, and I don't want to hear if you guys agree with me, and I'd love to hear the chat too, I think Nintendo killed it.
Absolutely.
Without question, they won E3.
Full stop.
So, what we're going to do, we're just going to run down some of the bigger announcements, and we'll share some of our thoughts. And I'd love to hear thoughts from folks in the comments. So I know we have our two guys here watching, and also we have our producer, the fair and just commissioner, watching the chat. So if you have a thought, an opinion, etc., shout it out. So, first, let's talk about the biggest news of the day, which I believe is the Zelda news. There were three pieces of Zelda news that I think we really need to get into. I'll get the quick ones out of the way. First, the Cadence of Hyrule, the Crypt of the Necrodancer, is going to be $25, and it's coming out on Friday.
Yep.
That is June 13th. Like I said, it's going to be about $25. It's an indie game. It's where you have to kind of move in a grid to a rhythm to defeat enemies, and you can play as either Link or Zelda.
Right.
Looks pretty
Or
rad.
Cadence.
Or as Cadence,
Yeah.
who is the kind of the main character in the primary game. I think this is awesome. It looks
Like
cool.
it was originally pitched as just Cadence in Hyrule, and now today it was announced that Link and Zelda were going to be in it.
No, they said Link was in it before.
Was it?
Yeah.
I don't remember that part.
They definitely were.
Okay.
But now we have confirmation. All three of them can play it. Albert, chill out. We'll get there in a minute.
Yeah.
So just trust me, we're gonna freak out too. The second piece of news, they gave us more information about Link's Awakening, which is crazy, really.
Yeah,
First comes out September 23rd. You said
20th, I think.
September 20th comes out this September. It's going to be a $60 release, and it is going to include a dungeon builder.
Yeah,
Where
but
go ahead.
a dungeon builder that you can then play the dungeons yourself. Like you can build them, play through them, get rewards, all kinds of good
Yeah,
stuff.
like in essence, as you play through dungeons and clear certain rooms, you will more or less capture them. and then you can use them to build other puzzles. I think this is awesome. I'm sure that we're going to be making some videos with the kids making dungeons and trying to beat me or vice versa.
Do we know if they can be shared between players yet?
They didn't say.
Okay.
I'm presuming yes, but I don't know.
That would be awesome.
They
But you
have
can
the
never really
technology.
assume that. I mean, they have the technology to share levels with other people because Mario Maker, but you never know. I think this is awesome. It also has an amiibo, which is up for pre-order now. So you can go and, if you are interested, you can go and pre-order your Link's Awakening amiibo, and it's a normal price. And man, is it cute! I actually shared a picture of it on the EFG Facebook page.
So adorable.
Yeah, it's super cool. Super cool. So those are two of the pieces of Zelda news. Let's talk about the absolute biggest one, which is they announced that they are developing a sequel to Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
Yes.
Now we know it's in development. In development is,
Hi, Rachel.
I mean, hi Rachel. We know it's in development. It was just announced as in development, which means it's not coming out right away.
Right.
But the fact that Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, which is without question the best video game Nintendo has ever made, in my opinion, the sequel to that is just more of that is just going to be great. Now, Nintendo has done this before. They have, if you remember, Ocarina of Time. Ocarina of Time came out in 1998.
Yep.
And less than 2 years later, Majora's Mask came out, using the same engine, a lot of the same assets, and was a very different and very weird take on Ocarina of Time, which was a very classic high fantasy time travel story. Majora's Mask, wacky as all get out. So the fact that we have Breath of the Wild, which is a very traditional, kind of high fantasy story, we're going to get a wacky take on that.
Yeah, we are.
And I've watched some of the, videos and some of the analyses about this 1.5-minute long teaser trailer. People are already taking every frame of this thing apart because, of course, they are.
The co-host of your board game show, Rob, uploaded a video of the whole trailer played backwards.
Yeah, definitely encourage everybody. Head on over to Upon's Perspectives YouTube channel. At the very least, give Rob some clicks.
Yeah.
He actually took the trailer and reversed it, so you can watch it backwards, including the sound. It's a little disconcerting in a few places, but you can hear some noise that sounds very similar to some of the sound effects in Twilight Princess.
Yes.
And another thing that is somewhat similar, if you look at the mummy thing at the end of the trailer, or the beginning of Rob's version of the trailer, it has the same diadem as Ganondorf in Twilight Princess.
Yep.
So there are definitely some connections to that. Obviously, we know all those games are connected. This is bananas, right?
Super bananas, yes.
And they turned around Majora's Mask in 2 years. Now, I'm not saying that they're going to be able to do the same thing, because obviously developing for modern consoles more expensive and harder than developing for the Nintendo 64. But this is awesome.
Absolutely. I'm so hyped.
Hashtag dopamine, big time.
Yeah, definitely. Hashtag dopamine. So I would love to hear people's thoughts or predictions in the comments as we kind of move on, because obviously there's a lot of news presented. So after we do the 3 Zelda announcements, which are great, I mean, we could theorize about Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 for hours.
Yeah, all that.
But let's move on. The next big chunk of news, believe it or not, deepest cut ever, was all about Secret of Mana and the various games in that franchise. 2 announcements. One, the Secret of Mana collection is coming to the Switch today.
It's out. It's out
$40.
now.
It includes Final Fantasy Adventure, which is essentially Secret of Mana, the prequel. Secret of Mana, and then it also has Seiken Densetsu 3, which is essentially Trials of Mana.
Yeah, it's Trials of Mana.
And that collection is out right now. It's $40. And Trials of Mana is actually being released as a new game. They redid it entirely in 3D, much like the Secret of Mana game that came out for PS4 last year. And that's coming out I believe they said in 2020. So it's in development now. And if you're a Secret of Mana fan, or if you like multiplayer action role-playing games, which there aren't that many, it's coming.
Yep.
So, so that's the Zelda notes as far as those announcements. Secret of Mana news. So let's talk about Animal Crossing. We can't avoid the news anymore.
Nope.
Animal Crossing was delayed until March of next year.
That was heartbreaking.
It was heartbreaking, but they really didn't need to release it this year. I know they said
No.
it was coming in 2019,
Yeah.
but they didn't need it, and I think it needs more time. So yeah, Evan behind us is freaking out about Animal Crossing. So it is called Animal Crossing New Horizons. It is coming in March of next year,
Yes.
and what we know is that it takes place on a tropical island. Well, I mean, tropical island might not be the right word, but it was definitely an island. So the one of the newest additions, number one, most of the UI is driven by a smartphone app made by Nook Incorporated. That man is everywhere, and you also have a crafting system, which is the you'll knock on trees, and instead of just getting fruit, maybe you'll get sticks or leaves, things like that you can then combine to make things like fires or stumps to sit on, etc. I think adding crafting to Animal Crossing as opposed to just ways to make money,
Right.
that opens up a lot of design space for different convoluted things you're going to need to do to make all the cool stuff in the game. This is going to be great. It stinks that we don't get it this year. I was really hoping that it was going to be a holiday title, but
Two things. Apparently, based on Jenna's comments, your daughter's face may have melted when
yeah,
she saw
Megan
it.
is very upset. She actually posted in the community, which, by the way, you can get there by going to engagefamilygaming.com/community. And this is a direct quote from my daughter. She said, "A whole almost year. Come on, man. Why'd Daddy post it if it's not coming out until after your birthday? Seriously, I need it now. Animal Crossing needs to come out now."
Oh, thank
Tweet that to
Rachel has a suggestion.
Yep.
They stop working on Sword Shield, and boom, there's more time for Animal Crossing.
Absolutely.
So that would be fine with two problems. One,
Boom.
and Pokemon is being done by Game Freak, and I would like to say that an Animal Crossing game made by Game Freak would be a very different video game.
Yes.
I'm not saying that I'm
still
not.
all in.
I'm
Still
all in.
all in.
I,
All my money. So,
no, because I want the Pokemans. They just announced a Corgi Pokemon.
they just made a Pokemon game last year.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
go play New Leaf. You'll be fine. Okay.
No, I've been playing New Leaf forever.
Okay. I'm not fighting you. Listen, I may not be the champ right now, but I'm closer than you are. So back off. All right.
For
So
the first
that's
time in over 2 years.
listen. You know what? Well, it's fine. You'll have another opportunity soon enough. Maybe when we'll do predictions for the Game Awards.
Okay.
Okay. So that's Animal Crossing. I'm bummed, but lots of details came out today. Obviously, there's plenty of time for them to do an all Animal Crossing focused Nintendo Direct.
For sure.
I'm really looking forward to this. It looks exactly like I wanted it to. Animal Crossing is not meant to be like a graphical powerhouse. It's meant to just look charming and peaceful and fun, and that's exactly what it looks like. You know what it looks like? It looks like Link from Animal Crossing, or Link from Link's Awakening, would fit perfectly right on that island.
Same aesthetic.
That would be awesome if you could just
Yeah.
have him kind of hanging out, or that kind of costume. So, fear not. They didn't delay it indefinitely.
No.
They delayed it outside of 2019 to March.
And they were very apologetic.
Well, they're always apologetic. That's Nintendo's jam.
Yeah.
Please be excited. So that was Animal Crossing. Next, let's talk about Luigi's Mansion 3, which I know. We got something from the audience?
We're glitching a bit, that's all.
Oh, we're glitching? That's got to be the connection. So, Luigi's Mansion 3. I know my wife is very excited, as Luigi's Mansion quietly is one of her favorite games. So let's just go through some of the stuff that they announced. So first off, it looks beautiful.
It looks amazing.
I mean, James, I've been doing a lot of talking. James, this was your first kind of experience with Luigi's Mansion.
Yes.
So, as from a fresh set of eyes, tell us what's up.
I was excited about Luigi's Mansion. I heard about the game. I'd never played it, but given that it's a puzzle sort of action-y adventure game, I mean, Luigi gets shafted a lot. Luigi, he needs more love. So I want to play it. I want to see what it's all about. And it's Mario Ghostbusters. What am I complaining about, right?
These are facts.
Yeah.
These are facts. These are facts. Facts.
Frax.
Frax?
So they showed us some new moves. You have a lot more. There's a lot more stuff you can do.
More stuff.
In the GameCube game, it was just you could get him with the vacuum,
It was
and then you
just
could pull back.
Yeah.
And then it was just a waiting game. Now you can actually like suplex them while they're inside
You
the
can sort of
screen.
like whip them over.
You can whip them over like the Hulk does to Loki in Avengers. And you have like a butt pound to like push enemies away. You have a lot more combat options.
Yep.
Which is cool.
You have like a plunger gun where it like sticks to things and then you pull it out.
Love that.
Yeah,
like they can
like the rope gun.
when you can rip shields away from the bad guys.
Yeah.
And
Well, they
interact with
have
the
the
environment.
shields in the other two.
Yeah. Okay.
But
And they
it's a different mechanic now to get them.
Yeah, definitely.
So-
And you've got couch co-op. You've got network play.
Mhm.
For
Well,
that's
and-
for
and
that's
couch
for Skyscraper.
Couch co-op is if you're playing with Gooigi,
Gooigi.
Which
Hashtag
is-
Gooigi.
which is gross.
Worst-
But what are you gonna
name
do?
Ever.
It really is a bad name. I really don't like it.
Like I get what they're going for because we all watched Ghostbusters growing up, and it's just
Yeah,
Slime.
it's Luigi's Slime.
But the name for it is just bad.
But we're talking about it.
Yeah.
We are. It's
Exactly.
Luigi. And then there's a horde mode more or less, which is a
Yeah.
tower.
Yeah.
You can play up to 4 players with your Gooigis,
Yep.
and you can play through a horde mode where you got to defeat the towers in a given amount of time, and then you can move up. I think it's awesome.
Last game.
What?
That one was in Dark Moon.
Oh, they had the scare tower or the scare scraper.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. I guess the scare scraper is not new.
The main multiplayer mode.
Okay, well, the good news is it's back.
Yep.
So that is
For the first time.
Luigi's Mansion 3. Okay. So, next. I mean, it's time to talk about Smash. So, here we go. There were lots of predictions rolling around
Oh, yeah.
before the direct itself. We had some. In fact, it's arguable that the Smash characters decided our prediction tournament.
They did.
And so
I don't think it's arguable. I think
I
that's
think it's
actually the
absolutely
case.
what-
Fundamentally, what happened?
fundamentally what happened. Thanks, guys. It's fine. It's cool. So the Smash characters were a very big deal. A lot of people were waiting. We knew that the first character, Joker, had already been decided. We were waiting for the next characters. And they announced not just one, but 2. So the first one that they announced was the hero from Dragon Quest. Now, what's interesting about that is it's actually 11 different characters were added to the game.
Yep.
Even though they're all the same guy, they are 11 characters that are the 11 different heroes from the 11 different Dragon
Are
Quest.
the powers the same?
Yes, they are functionally the same.
Okay.
So they're essentially the 11 different costumes
Got it.
for the hero are the 11 different costumes. At the end of the day, yes?
Echo Fighters.
Albert put something up and it made me very excited.
So-
Luigi Smash Ultimate.
I need that.
Yeah,
I need that in my life,
unfortunately,
Albert.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
the only one that's skin for Luigi.
so they're ultimately at the end of the day they're all dudes with swords, which is kind of not what people wanted. I know a lot of people were hoping for not another guy with swords,
Right.
because just about everyone from Fire Emblem uses a
Yeah,
sword.
We have
Sword.
one.
Yeah.
But what are you gonna do? I think it's a cool character because of all the different options. The music is cool.
Yeah.
So it also makes sense. Dragon Quest 11 Echoes of Elusive Age Definitive Edition S is coming to the Switch later on this year, so it makes sense that they would add more of the characters from that game into it. I really like the way they revealed it too. First, it started as him, and then he was beefing with like the whole Smash roster,
Yep.
and then all the other guys from Dragon Quest kind of popped out from behind the rocks.
His posse showed up.
I thought that was a pretty cool concept, and honestly, I would watch that fight.
Oh yeah.
I'd be down with that. So then, at the end of the Nintendo Direct, they trolled the crap out of us. All of a sudden, Donkey Kong and
It was Donkey Kong, King K. Rool,
and Diddy Kong, the three rare
and there
characters.
was just this big shadow in the window, and you're like, that looks exactly like Banjo, straight up the silhouette of Banjo. And the next thing we were like, it's happening finally, because this was in our predictions for when Smash got announced, and then it was the dog from Duck Hunt and the bird from Duck Hunt, and that went on for a couple seconds, and then out of nowhere, Banjo comes crashing in and beating everyone with the bird.
It's true, including the Duck Hunt
Yep.
dog.
Exactly. Which
So-
it was a troll on top of a troll.
Like it was.
And now everybody's excited about Banjo. I will be
Yeah.
honest, I'm not super excited about Banjo. But it's fine. I'm happy that he exists.
It just shows us now that Microsoft is at a place where they're allowing more of their IP to go to other consoles.
No,
So it
Evan, this
just
does not
means-
mean that the Master Chief is coming to Smash.
It's
Albert
not
was
happening.
expecting a Dixie Kong.
It's not happening.
They don't share Master Chief. That's not happening.
No. But other stuff, especially the Rare Collection, is
Yeah.
on the table to come over to Smash.
I mean,
And not only Smash, but come over to the Switch, which the Rare Collection is made for the Switch. Like that,
Right.
every game on there is Switch compatible.
if I look, let me get to
I
Rare,
suppose.
because they actually tweeted today. Because Nintendo tweeted out that your favorite Bear Bird duo, Banjo and Kazooie, are joining Super Smash Brothers. And Rare tweeted this. This is actually their pinned tweet right now. It says, "You asked, we listened. Nintendo were listening too, and we were happy to work with our old friends to make this one a reality. Banjo and Kazooie are coming to Super Smash Brothers Ultimate." We are in completely uncharted territory.
Oh yeah.
Where these video game companies have figured out, at least partially, that siloing themselves off and not cooperating
Doesn't
isn't
work.
actually helping them. In
like,
fact,
like we grew up in the console wars, and it's not only like are there treaties, there's straight up alliances at this point.
Yep.
And the more and more, like the announcement last week of Microsoft, like corporate, allowing to use their cloud services
Yeah.
with Sony PlayStation, and Sony being the most, like, you listen, you guys are cool with your games, we're cool with our games, make the best stuff in the world, but now it's like
They were working
working together, and this is gonna be, this is not a win for them, this is a win for us.
Right.
And the more of that, the more licenses going everywhere.
I think a
That's
better
money in their pocket at the end of the day, but that's my money going
Yeah.
in their
It's
pocket.
fun for us.
and it's better
And
for
I-
us.
That's where I wanted to go. You know?
Yeah, I get it. No, it's better for us. We get better, cooler games.
Yeah.
So I'm all in for that.
Mhm.
Okay, so those are the biggest announcements. Now let's talk about some stuff that snuck the heck up on all of us.
Yeah, dude.
Okay, if you told me
Mhm.
before the press conference started that I was going to watch them announce a Dark Crystal tactical RPG, I would have told you that you were high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have been like, that is insane. They're not even going to make a video game about that license.
Nope.
And when the hag lady from the Dark Crystal popped in and started talking with a Netflix logo, I thought they were just telling us that Netflix came to the
Yeah,
Switch.
exactly.
Because at this point, Netflix coming to the Switch is a 100% E3 worthy announcement. But then all of a sudden, they just jump cut to a bunch of gelflings on a grid.
Yeah.
James, take it away, because you stood up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you
got
know,
very
like-
excited. I still am very excited.
Yeah.
It's Dark Crystal meets Final Fantasy Tactics. It's grid-based squad tactical combat. Do I think it's going to be as good as a Final Fantasy Tactics? No, but the IP is so dear to me, and I believe that Netflix and Nintendo won't mess this up. So I'm all in. I think it's gonna be great, and it's coming soon, right? I think it's coming in August.
Yes.
Yeah, it's coming this August, so we don't have to wait long. So you'll definitely hear more back from me and us on that when it hits.
Yeah, and we were talking about like how different when we saw that Netflix logo, we're just like, well, maybe there was this movie that came out from the Black Mirror series called Bandersnatch,
Right.
which was basically an interactive movie where you chose where you went next. And the storyline, just like the books we read as kids.
Yeah, it was choose your own adventure movie.
Exactly. Like, we were thinking, like, what's next? What do we want to see? And then I was thrown out, like, we need something like, Dragon Slayer.
Yeah.
Or, like, Space Ace. Like, some kind of animation. Because, that's what I was thinking in the beginning. When Dark Crystal got announced originally, it was supposed to be an animation for
Right,
Netflix.
and now it's a full.
And then it went full on Jim Henson Productions. And we're like, yes.
So I actually was in somewhere at when I shared the trailer, like the most recent trailer.
Right.
And someone said, and this was meant as a pejorative, they said that they couldn't tell where the puppets ended and the CGI started. And I was in my head, I was like, that sounds awesome. Like, I don't want to see.
That's the best compliment you could pay them.
Yeah.
But it turns out that they meant like they wanted it to only be puppets and practical effects, which I understand. That's Henson magic. But the reality is, Jim Henson, were he alive today, would be OMG all
over.
in with these
It's
CGI.
2019. Get ready for use the tools at your disposal to make the best worlds that we can get, and that's what we're gonna get.
Yeah,
And it's going to be so
and
crazy.
you were talking how that what can like Nintendo do, like what IP that has been shopped over to Netflix. And you said Zelda.
How awesome
Would
would a Zelda like TV like just because one of the issues that people have is they're worried about like the Zelda narrative, right?
Right.
Well, what if the narrative was choose your own adventure,
Yeah.
where it was
Well,
just
let's
your
just
own
remember.
narrative.
Let's take a moment to quietly remember what the CDI did to Link. Do you not remember this?
no
The worst
Tell me.
Zelda thing ever made.
Yeah.
Hey, princess.
Yeah.
Look this up. You got homework.
Excuse me.
Some of you out there know what I'm talking about. If not, it's a deep cut. You should check it out too. It's the worst piece of garbage I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Jen has never
What?
seen the Dark Crystal.
What?
Okay,
Jenna, get on that.
we've talked about this. She and I did, and we are going to watch it before the series comes out because
Yeah.
I think it's important to watch. I'm probably not going to have Meggie watch it. 'Cause I think
No, it's not a
freak her
Meggie
out.
show.
No.
Well-
She will have nightmares.
One more thing on the Bandersnatch
Although
Choose
she's
Your Own
a
Adventure
Gelfling.
show.
And Meggie does look like a Gelfling though.
She looks
Um,
very Gelfling-esque.
Albert says I would love a Zelda show in all caps.
Yeah.
So anyway,
So would we.
yeah. Listen,
We've been asking you for
it
it for years.
sidesteps all of the problems that people normally have with a Zelda narrative because if everyone's narrative is different, then it's just a different kind of video game.
Right, correct.
And I just think it would be an interesting way to express the visuals.
I'd like to see a Bandersnatch style Choose Your Own Adventure Captain N, the Nintendo Master, deep cut.
He was the game master.
The Game Master, yes. I used to call him the Ninny Master. I was a Sega guy.
Of course, he was a Sega guy.
Of course, I was a Sega guy, but I'm here.
Of course, he was a Sega guy, man.
But now there's the alliances, Sonic's
No,
on the
it's a Sega.
Switch.
Listen, I'm still.
But
Yeah.
then I got the Super Nintendo.
All right, well
you
that's
know?
fine. It's fine. I was
I
about to
had both.
I was
but,
about
like,
to kick you both out. Remember, we're we're veterans of the console wars. These scars
I
run
was in
deep.
all of them. Yeah.
Okay, so now that's about all for Nintendo's announcements.
Yeah.
But we've got one more thing I want to talk about. We can't possibly just
Hold on.
forget.
We got a question. Rachel has a question. Is there still no party chat option on the Switch?
There
They did
was
not announce
no
anything.
system updates.
They did not
Announced.
talk about that. So no. With
But
that said,
16-person party chat is coming to PS4,
this is the Nintendo show.
which is crazy.
Stay on brand. We're
I don't work for Nintendo.
with that said,
we have one more thing to
yeah,
talk
I know.
about.
But before that, with that said, to answer, we are going to have a Discord server that will facilitate voice chat between us and if we want our kids to chat and stuff like that. So I'm getting that set up, and it will be set up probably by the end of the month. So there's that. If that helps. I know that's not exactly what people wanted, but I'm doing the best I can.
But it helps.
So, we can't close without talking about the dark magic that Nintendo did to get The Witcher 3, the complete edition, onto a Switch cartridge and somehow release it for the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
How did they do it?
Magic. They sacrificed a person.
They literally...
There's someone that does not exist and never existed to make
Whoa.
that into one memory card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So every time, you heard it here first, folks, if you buy The Witcher 3 for the Switch, you're just zeroing out another part of humanity.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is kind of on brand for The Witcher 3, actually.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously this game is not for the kids, and I don't think that it's, so people who want this
It's
game...
more about the innovation
Yeah,
that
the
we're
fact
talking
that I can
about,
take The
not
Witcher
about the,
with me
like,
everywhere I go,
exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
that's bananas.
it's arguably one of the best role-playing
Like
games ever made.
Skyrim was a big get.
But this has
But this
I think,
is
more
like way
fidelity.
more.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There's
And
way more to it.
fidelity. Yeah.
So, my wife just threw up a bunch of exclamation points. Maybe my wife's... I know my wife was actually kind of interested in The Witcher, but I don't know. But like I said, it's not for kids.
No.
But anytime someone says to me that a game, if this runs, which we're going to find out soon, if it runs even passably well,
Right.
because I'm not necessarily a graphics guy, so if I think it runs okay, you might have problems with it.
No, I mean, I'm willing to accept a little downgrade for the Switch.
But if I think it runs well and it's relatively smooth, there's no excuse. If The Witcher 3 can run on the Switch, what can't?
Right.
The Witcher 3 is bananas. The entire map of Breath of the Wild fits in one map on The Witcher 3. And it has like 6.
Yeah.
And that's not including the DLC.
Right.
It's just bananas. So we had to talk about that. If for nothing else, the innovation involved in that, the amount of wizardry that they took.
There's more possibilities for the Switch. It's not like, oh, I'll never play that game on Switch. We can't say that anymore. We said this morning, before this announcement, The Witcher will never come to Switch. I said those words, and we all
Yeah.
agreed.
And
So
we
nothing's
go on.
impossible now.
Nothing is off the table.
Yeah, that's it. So that's it. That is our Nintendo daily update. It's actually the last daily update. We'll do another live show tomorrow when we announce our games of the show.
Yep.
But until then, unless there's any questions from the chat, I think we are done.
Yeah.
It's time for us to get back to work.
Yeah.
So please remember,
Don't forget.
To get your family game on.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.